And we're live.
We are live, and you look like you're in like a cave right now.
I know. I'm battling with so much lighting issues now. It's getting to the winter time. The perfect summer light setup that I had is no longer here, so I'm gonna have to spend some time and figure out my whole light situation.
We'll have to get you an Elgato LED.
Yeah, like a ring light or something like that. Yeah, absolutely.
A ring light would work. Yeah. Hello, everybody. I'm Dan Nadelko, and welcome to episode 153 of Live at the Hive, Digital Marketing from the Trenches.
Yeah, we got producer Matt Stefanich here, and this week we have
Ivan Ivanovich.
Right on
from the Hive studio.
Yeah, I see that. Mm-hmm. Throwing it back, eh? Pre-COVID throwbacks for sure.
That's right. And Matt, you may not be aware, but we actually just got a Blackmagic A10 Mini switcher that we used yesterday for our for one of our client webinars. So that's actually
awesome.
Have a pretty cool piece of equipment there. Ivan's not taking advantage of it. He's on his lap. Okay.
All good.
Happy Friday.
All good. Yeah, happy Friday. I see Benny B in there. Happy Friday. It's been I hear it's been a busy week at the Hive this week with you guys.
We have been going on at fifth gear all week long, and so shout out to the team. Great work, everybody.
Yeah,
we had a ton of programs going live, and some exciting programs and really fun stuff that we're getting ready for. Hello, Sashita. Hello.
That's awesome. Steve. Yeah, to see everyone trickling in, and I also hear through the grapevine that it's somebody's birthday at the Hive that people were celebrating for sure.
It was a work-iversary.
Work-iversary. Yeah. That's right.
That's right. And you're looking at him right there. Congratulations.
Yes, sir.
1 year.
Congrats.
Yeah. It's been quite a year. Definitely an adventurous one from what
happened
over the past year, but it's been fun.
Sure. Yeah. Well, we love having you, and you do awesome work too. So it's good to have you around for sure.
Thanks.
Yeah, 100%. I was always wondering, because you said like a few times, like it's been crazy, and I'm like, is that good?
Yeah. Oh yeah, keeps you busy, right? On your toes,
right?
Yeah.
We try to keep you out of trouble.
Yep.
All right.
Well, for this week, so we're gonna keep going around, the theme of holiday, Black Fridays, things like that. But this week we have a lot of stuff to talk about: email marketing campaigns, some tools that we can use, some kind of plans, and some guides which should work out really well.
Yeah. So I think the theme of this week is not just email, but messaging in general as well. It's email is still the most effective, especially if you've concentrated on building your email lists, segmenting, tagging, understanding, if especially on the e-commerce side, if what you're looking at, and again, any business, we do kind of say this over and over, any business will benefit from a strong lead database where you're tagging, segmenting, understanding the behavior on the website, and taking advantage of all of those tools. And specifically in e-commerce, you've got deep data based on purchases, average order value, related products. And so we're going to be diving into that. We're also going to be talking about abandoned cart tools that you can use.
Yep.
And some kind of newer risers that, what's old is new again, I guess. SMS text messaging platform. And then lastly, we're going to be talking about multi-platform messenger platforms that will allow you to push out to text message, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger. So when you get Facebook Messenger now, you're talking about WhatsApp, Instagram, and Facebook, all three, because they're the platform. So we got a ton of stuff to dive into.
Packed in for sure.
Theme of it being a crazy week, we might as well just keep on going down that road.
Right on. Let's do it.
Awesome. So let's get started. I think one of the first things, I think, for context, and Yvonne, you kind of sourced this article, but it's a really great article as well. We want, if you haven't had a consistent communication vibe with your leads, how do you warm them up, and what are some of the techniques that we can use?
Right. So for sure, just like we had mentioned in the last Hive on your social media, you can't kind of just jump right into it. You kind of want to make sure that you kind of feel the water a little bit before you start promoting yourself very heavily. So kind of the first step to this that they have is just starting early. So they mentioned an 80-20 rule. So you've got your more engaged versus your less engaged. So you kind of want to do 20% towards your non-engaged, and then you want your 80% towards your engaged people. So you kind of want to separate them too, just to make sure you can see how your emails are working out compared to each one, and then you can adjust accordingly to that. And then, of course, for number 2, you just want to go slow and controlled. So even if it's working, it doesn't mean that you should just jump right in anyway. You want to gradually build up so that they will keep coming and coming, right? So then once you get them, then you can start to work around that.
Yeah, for sure. I would definitely agree. One of the cringiest statements that when I hear it, I have to kind of bite my lip a bit, but the e-blast.
Yeah.
Please do not e-blast your list. Don't just go and hammer away at that list. It does require much more nuance than just, send to the entire list.
Yeah, for sure. I think a lot of the times too, people, when they have their email marketing platforms and things like that, a lot of times I see is just one gigantic list, and we ask, okay, like, do you guys have a list? And like, yeah, we have a list, and it's literally just one list. You want to make sure that you filter that list through, right? Not just segment it, but kind of go between like your active contacts, your non-active contacts, even older contacts too, right? So,
Hello, Hillary. Oh, wow.
Hey.
Hillary just totally covered Yvonne's face.
All good.
Yes, and another key point about this is one of the reasons we love Activecampaign so much, and it's really become our go-to platform, even over very popular platforms like MailChimp. I mean, they're all good. Don't get me wrong. If you're using MailChimp, you can use a lot of these very same techniques. But Activecampaign, in my personal opinion, has got the strongest automation suite in the market. In fact, for the price, it's ridiculously powerful in how you can create automations that start and stop based on various different criteria that you define. As an example, if one of your leads visits your site, you can create an automation. If you've got an e-commerce story connected to Shopify, there's a deep data integration. If they're browsing a specific product but never put it in their cart, you can launch into an automation sequence that will give them the benefits of that product to help solve their pain point. These are the types of nuances and kind of very specific interactions where you will start to warm up your audience. One other tip that I would give here is that, don't be afraid to pare down your email list. We talk a lot about vanity metrics on social and vanity metrics for all of your digital marketing. Well, just having a massive list is clearly a vanity metric. If you're getting a 10% open rate, you can create your highly engaged list, move people out if they're, if they're never opening an email campaign, then you've lost it with them. And it's better to focus down on your engaged segment and start to segment from inside there and kind of refresh refresh those lists. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure. One other thing that you can do as well in terms, and again, we talked about this last week, we talk about this quite a bit, just don't go right for the kill, right? Don't go for that sale right away. I mean, our concept here, what we're trying to do is prep everything for Black Friday as we move through. So we've got a month to start prepping that, but some contests, some surveys, getting that engagement, getting your channel, your email list over to social, and creating some of those programs to really warm them up and really get that really get that going again.
Yeah, and just one thing mentioned before, it was the awareness, right? So just because it's not working, it doesn't mean that you can't stop it and like go back to the drawing board, or maybe try again later. Things fail sometimes and things work out. It's just the way it is. So you just got to know when to call it.
That's great advice. And one of the things I'm a big believer in this is a lot of what we do is pilot and pivot. Do not. That's, and in a sense, it's like fail fast. So if you've got a roadmap, don't be too married to what you think may be successful in terms of your interaction. Test emails. We're going to introduce a guide by Activecampaign. It's pretty epic. Kudos to the Activecampaign team. And again, not shilling for Activecampaign too much. I think it's 160 some odd pages or something. Let me see.
Yeah, it's 103.
103 pages. Maybe we can drop that link so to that Activecampaign page where you can grab that. This toolkit has email scripts. It has subject lines. It's got the how to warm up your leads actually comes from Activecampaign as well. This is actually a really, really fantastically done resource that anybody can go and grab. I strongly suggest that you do that. And we're pulling some of the key points out of this as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a really detailed, read. But if you're a business owner or you're a marketer and you're not quite sure where to get started, this is a great place for you to kind of dive in, especially with some of the trends and some of the automations that you can use that are really useful. And those automations can integrate with many different things, right? They could integrate with some of the text messaging, SMS marketing that we're going to be talking about a little bit later on. But as well as, your CRMs and your MailChimps and your active campaigns, right? For sure.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe we can go to the Printful 10 holiday email marketing campaign ideas you must try in 2020.
Yep, for sure. So we have this guy up right now. Just loading up. There we go.
Yeah. So Printful, really great blog post here. And again, part of the intention of what we want to do here is to give you ideas and resources to help reduce the amount of heavy lifting that you need to do specifically. You can take the approach of customizing your strategy for you using these as a way to remove 75% of the groundwork, which is typically ideation, right? Like, where do I get my ideas from?
Yep, absolutely. And I mean, look, right from the top here, even within the blog post, I mean, the e-commerce holidays, right? We can tell that, through July, near the end of July to, September, October, it's fairly light. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But once you get past Thanksgiving and Halloween, I mean, it's just gun-ho, right? You have Veterans Day and Remembrance Day. Not necessarily Remembrance Day for Canadians, but I know Veterans Day is a great, sale day that people use in the United States.
Yeah.
Lord Hades.
Sorry to interrupt, Matt. I want to give a shout out to one of our YouTube followers, Lord Hades Black Flame.
Hey, how's it going?
Love it.
Wow.
Love it if you smash that subscribe and like button, Lord Hades. Or can I call you Hades?
Hades, yes. Hades.
Love it. Well, thanks for stopping by. Sorry, go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, and this is what we're talking about, right? Like November, December, you should be here right now planning, getting everything ready. So, once the 11th of November hits, or as soon as November hits, you're good to go.
Yeah, absolutely. And Printful, has got some really good tips in here. Don't forget to, thank anybody that has purchased anything. Another strategy for your email campaigns: create an early Black Friday sale. It's a little tougher now because Amazon's kind of blurred the lines where Black Friday starts and stops. Because in fact, this year they did Prime Day, trying to get people into the buying spirit before. One of the tips for your email marketing campaigns: try not to go head to head at the busiest times. It sounds a little counterintuitive, but by starting your Black Friday sale a little bit early, you can get more eyes on your offers, as opposed to trying to compete, because Amazon and Walmart are going to overwhelm, right? A lot of the big players, I should say, not just Amazon and Walmart, but the big players. So try to think David and Goliath, right?
Yep.
Be creative and get those email marketing campaigns in front of your audience at times when the others are maybe not hitting them as hard.
For sure. Yeah. And I mean, it's even to a point of, outbidding on your ads, right? If you're a small business and you're trying to target for some of the same, keywords and things like that some of the bigger players are doing, right? You're going to get outbid. But even if it's, placing a Black Friday sale the first week of November or second week of November, if that's working for you, that's perfect. And, it gives you a little bit more opportunity to shine versus, the bigger players placing all their deals closer to the actual Black Friday date, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I think one of the things that we also want to talk about, so another creative email idea that we've done in the past very successfully. So there's the 12 days of Christmas and the 21 days of holidays. What you can come up with a concept and a campaign that has a theme to it, almost like a boot camp, but about your products. So create sequences of emails that are tailored to your specific audience's previous purchases and things that they're interested in, right? Sequence those out. And whether you're using MailChimp or Activecampaign or Shopify Mail or Campaign Monitor, whatever, they all have similar capabilities to create automation sequences based on the actions and the reactions of your users. So you're not just sending out campaigns. You can create a branching logic based on what they do. That makes sense? Okay. One other thing, that just as a little bit of a pro tip, when you're talking about your product, talk about the benefit of how it's going to solve a pain point for your customer, right? Rather than just saying, 20% off or 15% off or whatever. What works is providing valid and useful information for your leads and for your customers, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Like you're saying, just because something's 20% off, does that mean I want it? What if I don't need it? It's not going to do anything for me, right?
That's right.
Yeah,
exactly. One other tip that's it's actually in here, a couple of tips that you can take away, especially for small business. Small business Saturday, small business Sunday, right? Again, we've talked about this with COVID-19. Really double down on your messaging with the idea that you're a small business and, personalize, where if you go through the Printful article a little bit, you'll see they're focusing on Udemy and some pretty big brands out there, Amoroso. Let's see here. I mean, and that's great. But when you're thinking David and Goliath and small businesses using Shopify or whatever e-commerce platform that you're using, take your strong points and your benefits, your personality as a business owner, the fact that you're a local business, and celebrate that fact. Because again, like we've discussed, there's a ton of data to show that consumers in North America, and I feel like it's a worldwide trend. I don't have data to back that up, but people want to support small businesses and local businesses. And that doesn't mean that because you're in Toronto that someone in New York State wouldn't support a small business. You know what I mean? I think people are motivated to help small businesses right now.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think it's really important for small business owners to, share their own stories, right? And I think that sharing your story is a really big factor in people rallying behind your business and supporting you. Like, for example, for Honeypot, like within the Waterloo region, it doesn't take, a genius to walk down the street downtown and see that businesses are closed, businesses that we've supported over the years. Right. But, when COVID-19 started, we kind of switched and kind of veered the Live at the Hive as a place where local business owners can go get the help that they need to kind of help lift them up through COVID. And we did that through the early days, and we still continue to do that. And it's gotten a lot of support over the past couple of months. But if other businesses share their stories of how they've overcome COVID-19, things that they're doing to help other like community members throughout COVID-19, it's a really great place to start. Live video, sending your story over to local news media. Those are also really great ways to kind of jumpstart that support before you kind of let out your ad campaigns.
For sure. For sure. And so, again, just to reiterate a few tips on the email side, start by warming up your audience. Don't just hammer at them with an offer out of nowhere. Especially if you've been inconsistent with your email marketing. And with your email marketing, I truly believe that you should tell a story. Always try to tell a story. You know, there's a famous quote that Steve Jobs said that the most powerful marketing is the most powerful individual in the world is the storyteller. And I still feel that in the world of marketing, some people look at that when they hear storytelling, they kind of roll their eyes. But, you know, Steven Spielberg is a fantastic storyteller. Jon Favreau, these are fantastic storytellers, you know. It's a powerful way to get emotion into your email. So tell your story, warm up your audience, ask questions in those emails, and leverage the segmentation that the platforms provide to you.
For sure.
We got a comment here. Hillary says, as an experienced e-consumer, nice. I find that did you forget something and waiting in your cart emails very annoying. What is your take on those push email angles? Well, you have kind of preempted us a little bit, which is totally fine. So two things. Abandoned carts work. Now, I guess with context, if you're not being given any other kind of an offer or reasoning, yes, I would find it very annoying. That's really just saying, hey, come back and finish your order, right? So we can jump ahead a little bit into remarketing. Abandoned cart. A couple of platforms that are really amazing for remarketing. One is called Carts Guru.
Yep. Let's just zoom in here for this guy. Yep.
Carts Guru will work on any platform. That's the benefit of it. And the other one that we could pull up just to briefly show is SMS Bump, and that's specifically a Shopify app. But let me just check. It might actually be.
It's on the Shopify App Store. I don't know if it's not by Shopify. I think it's their own kind of company.
It's a Yotpo company.
Yeah,
it was pretty big. SMS Bump will integrate with Shopify, Shopify Plus, and BigCommerce if you're on BigCommerce as well. So, done properly, abandoned cart campaigns can really increase your sales. And I think this is a general rule. Email marketing can be really annoying. Social media marketing can be really annoying. Chatbots can be really annoying. Live chat. Larry says, haha, I was thinking you would move away from emails soon. Thanks for discussing. No problem. Hey, we're here for the audience, right? That's what we're here for. Within context, any of these channels can be extremely annoying, and when used improperly, they will be annoying. So we had talked a little bit about nuance, right? And it's becoming one of my favorite words is you have to use a scalpel and not a chainsaw with these types of things, right? To ensure that you don't become annoying, because you could imagine in general, if I looked at all of the platforms we have available to us, right? You could barrage your consumers with super annoying messaging. You see this on some Shopify stores, and this is just kind of a slight tangent, is Shopify is the best thing and the worst thing that's ever happened to e-commerce, in my opinion. And I'll qualify that. It's the best thing because it has enabled small businesses to very easily, and you know what? I could put BigCommerce in there, Samcart, Thrivecart. There's a lot of platforms that have enabled more modern e-commerce platforms that enabled small businesses to set up a digital storefront, an e-commerce platform. That's the great thing. The bad thing about it, and not the bad thing about it, is some people go in and think that just setting up my Shopify store or whatever commerce platform I'm setting up is go in there. I'm going to add a whole bunch of apps, and I'm gonna hit it hard. I'm going to hit it hard, and then all of a sudden you've got a subscribe to our email lists pop up. Then you've got a live chat pop up. Then you've got a spin the wheel pop up, and then you've got a special banner that pops up and anchors at the top of the screen. It's too much. It's right, and then you're going to drive people away. It's in a sense, Shopify makes things almost a little too easy sometimes. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
So just to return from the tangent, I think if you provide abandoned cart messaging that is useful, provide some value to your client, to your customer, whether it's a discount, a bundle offer, free shipping. Well, you should do free shipping all the time, mainly because of Amazon Prime. But if done properly, you will create fans out of abandoned cart emails. You can use humor, offer discount, offer bundle, give something back to them that is useful.
Oh, actually, I wanted to jump in there, and a great one for that would be if the price is going to drop or the price is going to go up, if it was something in your cart, it's kind of good to know then, because I know I've gotten a few like that, and I think that's very handy, and it really helps me once, buy it if it's going to go down, right?
Yeah. If you've been looking at something and someone messages you, hey, this thing that you were looking at a couple of weeks ago? Well, it's 25% off right now, right?
Sure. Or you could integrate quantities. If you have limited quantities, let people know, right? That's another very powerful thing with Shopify email. So I don't know what happened between Shopify and MailChimp, but it sounded like they had a little bit of a spat. Because the MailChimp app was actually removed from the Shopify app store, and then Shopify built their own email marketing app. Whatever. Stay away from those, the marketing. But the reality is that Shopify, so Activecampaign has what's called a deep data integration. It's a one button. It's a very easy integration. Shopify Mail, the deep data lets you pull all that data out of your store and use it in your email campaigns with variables. So example, for abandoned cart and limited quantities, if you do have limited quantities of your products, a great abandoned cart message is maybe bundle up, get a discount, and oh, by the way, we've only got 17 of these left in stock, right? And when they're gone, or whatever. That's also a very strong way to make those abandoned cart messages, email marketing messages, not annoying. One other thing, and I'm sorry, I know I'm talking a lot. I was doing a webinar yesterday, so I feel like I'm just in that mode.
You're still in the zone. Yeah, I know what that's like. Yeah,
talk for an hour by myself mode. So I'll shut up in a second. The other thing is Carts Guru is extremely powerful because SMS abandoned carts are actually very popular. And as annoying as it may seem, done properly, we've got data on this from campaigns over years. What's happening is that abandoned cart SMS messaging is becoming more and more effective than email marketing abandoned carts. Just be careful. Again, this is the whole point about nuance. Do not send somebody 12 text messages within a 2-day period, right? Again, this is just how you set things up. It's pretty easy to set those up. They give you the rules, right? And also be very personalized language when you tread into SMS. Right.
That's what I was about to say. Even with the email too, you can be pretty personal with your email messages too. If you're a small business and you're saying, "Hey, I'm Matt and I'm the owner of blank. I just wanted to make sure if you had any questions. I know you left some stuff in the cart." Even if you structure it that way, people are going to be like, "Oh my God, this guy's on top of his stuff. He actually cares about his customers, right?" So,
yeah, for sure.
Important. Miguel has a comment.
Popular opinion. I don't think it's unpopular, Miguel. I think it's popular.
I don't.
There's literally an entire class of individuals in the world that will go to an e-commerce site, put stuff in the cart, and leave because they know they're going to be able to get a follow-up. They're going to be able to get that follow-up offer.
Yeah.
It's a consumer strategy. If you go to sites like Red Flag Deals, where you find people that are hunting for deals, it definitely is something people really do know about it. So my suggestion on that is understanding that that's the case, use it to your advantage and to your customer's advantage, right?
Yep. Yep. There's tons of places like that, like Red Flag Deals and things that, they just blow up during the holiday season. Even there's some really good subreddits out there of people wanting to get deals on electronics, anything, right? So, if you have maybe a promo code that you want to kind of put out there on websites like maybe Honey and some of those other sites too, you can always throw those out there so that people can grab them if you have any deal hunters, right? Those are the kind of extreme couponer type people, but there's a lot of people who like doing that kind of stuff, so it's another strategy to use.
Absolutely. Getting all sorts of good stuff today. Yeah, Price Dropper, Hillary's saying the Price Dropper limited stock would be a game changer for me if they spent more time connecting with me. Yes. Yeah. And again, I think the thing that is not all, but a majority of e-commerce sellers need to improve how they personalize the messaging between them and their customer.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, it's a strategy for sure, and it's hard, right? You want to make sure that you're getting your brand voice in there, but at the same time, you want to make sure that your copy is convincing and your copy is not heartfelt, but it's friendly, right?
Sincere.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Another tip is, so within, again, it doesn't matter what email platform it is, but hopefully your email platform has set up, and if you're using Shopify Mail, you'll have it, because when someone puts together their cart, they're going to create an account and you'll have all that information. Use their first name in the subject line. That's one simple tactic. Personalize. And yes, you can obviously have your designs with a beautiful banner, but when you're following up, for example, or in the abandoned cart, write it as if you were receiving an email from an individual, as opposed to something that's blatantly like got your logo splashed all over the front of it. Especially if you're a small business, again, play to your strengths in your email. Your strength is that you have a personality behind your small business, right?
Yep.
So write it as if you were writing someone a personal email.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. You'll get a much better bit of feedback for sure.
And we've even implemented stuff like that before. I know, Yvonne, you've been a part of those emails too, where it's just plain text almost, right? No flashy logos, no headshots, anything like that. Just really just plain text. And a lot of people, they're kind of surprised when you send out those emails, but they work. They're more personable. People know that when they have an email that doesn't have like a flashy logo or anything like that, like that's a personalized email pretty well, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Totally. One other tip. Holy smokes, it's 4:48.
Yeah.
And hello to everybody on Facebook and on YouTube. Our YouTube audience is steadily growing.
Yeah.
We're taking the slow and steady path over there, but it's nice to see that growth.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I was just going to comment on one thing, that we've had clients and projects where we definitely propose this, which is counterintuitive to a marketer, because marketers are typically saying, I'm going to go to email on acid, or I'm going to go to my litmus. There's tons of different ones, and we're going to have the flashiest, most creative. Those have a place, right? They do have a place. But especially when you're remarketing and when you're trying to warm your list, you will see much better results. Yep. By personalizing it, by making it seem like someone's writing that email.
Especially if you have a low inventory list. If you're a small business and you don't have a whole bunch of products and you only specialize in a few things, the simpler the better. You don't have to try and either convince people or flash off to people that you're some big company or something like that. The smaller the better sometimes, and you can do some really creative stuff.
And I just wanted to mention, this is like in a real world situation. Like I got I delivered food to me, and instead of just saying thank you, they had written on the entire bag, "Thank you for supporting us. We hope you enjoy your meal." So that made, and I know this goes it's slightly different, but that made me want to purchase again because that was very thoughtful, and they put a little bit personal. touch
especially
onto that,
now.
right?
Especially now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think Matt, Chad's got a comment that he popped in there.
Yeah. So Chad threw one in there, and for the people listening at home, I'll just kind of read it out so you can keep along. But any type of marketing can be annoying if it seems desperate or intrusive. But everyone likes a good deal or having their needs recognized. It's all in the messaging, and yeah, there's tons of bad messaging out there too. Yep. And yeah, I agree. Everyone likes a good deal or having their needs recognized for sure. Or people just want to have a little bit of, recognition as well. If it's a significant purchase or an expensive purchase that they made from you, reach out to them personally, right? Maybe ask them, do you guys need anything else? Do you need any recommendations or help? Especially if you're in the food industry. If you have a bundle that you have kind of made up during the holidays, and it's an expensive bundle, it's like maybe $120 or something like that. Reach out to them personally. Maybe send them an email. If you don't get too many of those purchases, but you get a couple larger ones, there's no harm in reaching out personally and asking them if they needed any help, if they need any recommendations or anything like that.
Actually, on Facebook, something just went around. A small business had shared it because it was $50 somebody had purchased, and it was, for them, it was huge. And they didn't know who it was, but they wanted to say thank you to the person because like for a big business, that $50 is nothing. But for
it's a lot for small businesses. Yeah, especially if you have like little products and modestly priced products, like maybe tea or food, or I know cheese. Even one of our clients that we use for Cheese Stand for the bundles, like some of those bundles are pretty expensive, and it's a big deal for a business owner when one of those get purchased, right?
Yep, absolutely. So let's look. We've got 9 minutes left here. So we've kind of gone through how to warm up your email lists, how to nurture those relationships, and now I think it's time to also talk about some of the other channels that you can use in addition to email to help expand and again add more facets to the way that you are communicating and what channels you're using.
Yep.
So we've got a couple of interesting platforms. So text messaging right now, if you're in the world of following any influencers and celebrities, simple texting is one, and community, maybe you can pull up community.com, Matt. That would be a good one to start with. Okay, so community.com is actually, it's a text messaging platform. If you've ever followed Gary Vaynerchuk, Philip DeFranco,
Ninja has one.
Yeah, and there's a ton of celebrities that they have. Now, community.com, as you can see, there's a list of them, has really taken off in terms of business owners and celebrities, or, in terms of their business, are also building their community so they kind of own more direct information rather than, YouTube followers and Facebook fans. Those are really leased relationships because you rely on the platform for them, right? Yep. So community is certainly, a different level. So, but a business, you can also use this as well. So simpletexting.com is a really great example. This is something that you can set up. An SMS bump for Shopify is another one that you can set up as well. Now, there's different ways. What I would suggest is a couple of things with SMS messaging. So messaging is, again, that nuance, right? Don't blast out to all of your potential leads and customers. In the world of Shopify, one of the most popular, and look, I love this, Amazon does it, but Shopify stores can do it very easily, is as soon as the order is packed, I get a text message or a Facebook message. When FedEx or UPS or DHL come to pick it up, right? Then I get a message. I see the tracking of the order, so I know when it's going to arrive. right?
Yep. Or even a map of it. I mean, there's a few ones. I think there's one called Shop that I'm using right now to track the packages, and it kind of maps out the route in a physical map of where it's been, and you can track it that way, which is pretty nice.
That's Shopify's app, right?
Yep.
Shop.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you can get that, and that's a really great way to access several Shopify stores, for sure. On the simpletexting.com kind of front, another way you can use text messaging in terms of communication is really create a VIP text messaging group and let people opt into it to say that, yes, I would like to see this. And again, thank you so much, like Yvonne, to your point, to your example there. We want to, you could definitely see ways that, if they might have asked you if you would be part of their VIP club, and the way that we communicate with our VIPs is via text message, right?
Mm-hmm.
You might be more motivated to do that. I would imagine.
Exactly, and just asking them first instead of just bombarding them with the message, right? Like, of course, they're not going to want to see it. If it's personalized and they're like, oh, maybe I get more out of joining this group, then of course they'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, even if you have a countdown sale going on and you want to text people or opt to let people, maybe opt in for text messaging to remind yourself when the sale drops, right? Mm-hmm. That's a really great strategy to kind of use the text messaging platform too, right? So set reminders up for your audience and your subscribers.
Yeah, for sure. Sure. The last one that I want to talk about is we push 5 o'clock here. I can't believe it. I mean, I feel like it
flew by. The past 3 for Black Friday have actually flown by.
Yeah,
it's pretty nuts.
That is true. You know what? We can throw up the infographic and then maybe throw up I don't know if you've got a link ready for the infographic or that goes with the blog post. Yep. I'll talk about respond.io. Now, this is kind of the next level of instant messaging platforms that you can really use to increase the number of channels you have and the variety of channels that you have that will allow you to communicate in this more nuanced manner. Respond.io, I just dug into it on several of our own e-commerce stores. Really cool platform, a little bit more setup that you need to do, but it supports WeChat, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, Line, Twitter, I said SMS. So you can actually let your customers and your leads choose which platform they really want to be a part of.
Yep.
Their messaging choices. Mm-hmm. Again, for VIP clubs, it's great. Then you can have separate logic for shipping updates as well. Mm-hmm. So you start to go through this process and you see, right, there's email and text messaging, and those are kind of the more popular. But as we go down this road, we're going to start to see more and more options and capabilities that these folks, your customers, are going to want that level of choice.
Yep.
Cool.
Absolutely.
All right. Oh, we've got a message from Neil Patel. Personalizing gives the customer a message that the business has values towards them and cares about each of their customers. I personally use this technique to engage with my audiences. That's great.
Yeah.
That's absolutely 100% true, Neil.
Yep. Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. It's excellent.
It's great. All right. So we will pull up the infographic. It's 4:58.
I think it's this one that we want to go over.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yep.
So you know what? We'll post the link. That's going to go in our blog post. So what we'll do is, you know what, in the comments later on, we'll post the link to this infographic. But this is a really well done infographic that you can use to go over at your own pace and on your own time. And certainly go through the process of implementing some of these tips.
Yeah, absolutely. There's some good stuff in there. And like we said, it's all supplemental to some of the other articles that we released today, Activecampaign's Black Friday toolkit that goes along with that. Just a little bit more condensed in our infographic, a little bit sweeter than, see what I did there? A bit sweeter than Activecampaign. And yeah, that's it's looking good.
Awesome. All right. Well, it looks like at least we're in our part of the world, we've got almost a summer day today.
I know it's gorgeous out there, but I think it's calm before the storm, right? Apparently,
sure.
we're supposed to get a big thunderstorm. That's what I'm hearing, at least. I don't know.
Quite literally. Yeah. Quite literally. And then with a drop. So, all right, everybody. Well, Yvonne, happy 1 year anniversary.
Yeah, happy 1 year, Yvonne. Awesome. Got any plans for this weekend or anything like that?
No, my plans are actually alone. Probably just play some Among Us with some friends.
Hey, that's not being alone. So, what do you mean?
You're right, alone. True. Very
well,
true.
I will also invite you, Yvonne, to the Rec Room Games Discord, and if you ever want to play some Among Us, that's kind of a popular game around our little part of the world these days.
Yeah.
All right.
If you feel like playing with a bunch of 10-year-olds, it's actually pretty entertaining. It's very.
Those 10-year-olds are pretty sharp, though. So.
Oh yeah.
You can't get much past them.
They're sneaky, super sneaky.
Oh, I know.
Yep. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for joining us for episode 153 of Live at the Hive Digital Marketing from the Trenches. We will be back, same bat time, same bat channel next week. So you have a great weekend and unplug and disconnect this weekend.
Yeah, for sure. See you then.
See you later.